Hello and welcome to episode number 52 of Scottish Football Matters with me, Lorenzo, and my good friend Murray.
All right.
Tonight we're going to be reviewing the midweek fixture and we'll also look forward to this weekend's fixtures as well and we'll see how the title race is going to pan out. How are you
Yep.
doing, mate?
As we said last week, expecting twists and turns, and we got some midweek. I expect
We
more
certainly
this
did.
weekend.
We
So
certainly did.
I think best place to start is Tuesday's Edinburgh Derby. I've got to say, I thought it was quite a poor watch, if I'm honest. I thought both
Uh,
sides were pretty bang average.
yep, there we are.
But Hearts doing what you
Lucky.
need to do in a title race and finding
They
a
were
way to
luck.
win.
They were lucky. I thought Edinburgh were at Edinburgh. I thought Hibs were the better side.
Um,
For the for
in
Well,
spells, yeah.
I'd say for the majority of the 90 minutes, I thought they were better. But
I don't think they had enough control over the game when they were on top, if you know what I mean.
mm,
Like they were having
uh,
moments where they're on top, but they maybe weren't creating enough in those moments. And because
mhm,
I can't really remember either keeper having a save to make. Really, it was low on quality, but you need to find ways to win these games. And I mean, obviously we'll go on to the other games, but Celtic and Hearts found a way to win a game playing badly, and Rangers found a way to not win a game.
playing
So
badly.
yeah, but
Well, see, to be honest, the Rangers game itself, I
we'll
watched the
get, we'll go on to
highlights.
that. Aye. We'll go on to
I wa
each of them.
aye,
But I think fair play to Hearts though, because you need to maintain uh, winning games, and it's always like it would be one that they'd have looked at the calendar where they thought it's a tough game. So
mhm.
fair play to them. They've found a way to win, and aye, I don't think there's much more to say about the game because I think it really lacked quality. But I've got to admit, I think that's going to be a kind of similar theme between now and the end of the season. I don't think it's going to be about quality. It's just going to be about getting results.
Get the win.
But
That's all I'm interested in. I mean,
on to
I don't want,
Wednesday.
I don't want Celtic to do what they did the other night in every game. I mean,
Yep.
my heart couldn't
On
take it.
to Wednesday. We'll start with just the other two that probably don't affect the title race. But Falkirk Dundee was pretty straightforward. I thought both teams played quite well.
Mhm.
Uh, Falkirk took their chance, and then Dundee didn't take their chance with
Yep.
the missed penalty. So I think it was a penalty. I don't think there's any arguments, but you've got a last minute penalty, you need to score it.
Oh, I
Um,
know. So,
and Dundee don't want to get dragged into a battle because obviously you've seen Kilmarnock picking up more points. I don't think Livingston have got any hope, but Kilmarnock and St Mirren they've picked up some points. I know one beat the other, but I think we've seen a big difference in St Mirren last week against Hearts. And
yeah.
Dundee need to kind of find a couple of results, I think, just to make sure they pull away. Because I do think they're too good to go down based on their performances.
Yeah,
But
but is any club ever too good to get down, really, when
no,
you think
no, they're
about it?
never. Because I remember that.
Because
Remember that West
if
Ham team from
aye,
back in the day that had
'cause if
Di
you're not good enough,
Canio,
you shouldn't be in
Defoe,
the league.
Joe Cole, Carrick, and that went
Yep.
down. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I think fair play to Falkirk, another victory. And to be honest, you with Dundee United and Aberdeen's game postponed and them getting a wee bit of a backlog of fixtures, I actually
Mhm.
think Falkirk are pretty much nailed for the top six.
You think
I
so?
can't, I can't see the other ones catching them.
You might be right. You might be right. It
And to be
looks like
honest
it,
with you,
doesn't it?
I think they could catch Hibs. I don't think there's
I
much between them and Hibs.
wouldn't say no to that. 'Cause
No, I don't
Hibs
see
have
them
been up and
catching.
down, really. Hibs have
Don't
been
see
up
them
and down.
catching the other four. I think the other four are away and gone. But yeah, I think
I'd imagine,
Falkirk
obviously,
and
Motherwell will stay in
aye,
the
they'll
top
be fine.
six. They've,
I think Falkirk and Hibs will battle out for that last European place.
mhm.
But Kilmarnock St Mirren was. I'm going to say it's a high scoring affair. I don't
What a
think it was
game,
high.
really, when you think about it.
And to be honest, it was high quality at times. Obviously, I looked in it with a bit of interest because obviously our young player Finlay Curtis went there, and I couldn't believe it when I seen the lineup when he was starting right back. I was like, right, we've sent a right winger there to get some game time,
And he's
but
playing it right back.
it wasn't right back, right back. It was more like right wing back.
Oh, so it was like
Uh,
the Wilfred
so it was a
Nancy type
yeah, but
thing.
by the way, he puts in a. I don't know if you obviously have seen the goals, but see the first goal they scored. That's a great ball in by Curtis into Kilty
Yeah.
for the equaliser. But and I think he was really really lively. But I'm just glad to see him playing. But I think special mention to John Jules, hat-trick. I thought his first goal was a peach. I think his
Hmm.
first goal was the goal of the week, the midweek games. So I think the technique of that I mean, it was probably a good 14, 15 yards out as well. And I think the technique's great. And he
Yeah.
obviously, his other goals were nice wee strikers' goals as well. And
Yeah.
obviously, you play them at the weekend, and he's someone you'll need to watch out for because he has quite a wee turn of pace on him as well. And
Hmm.
if I was going to critique Celtic, I would say that's where they maybe lack that wee bit of turn of pace. I
Well,
think the fullbacks have got it. I think Araho and Tierney can come back in, but I
mhm.
think if you're one on one against Trusty or Scales,
I
I
even
think
Sriracha can do that, not just Tierney. I think
no.
Sriracha would.
I should actually swim. I just think if he gets one on one with either of those centre backs, I think he could get some joy. But
Hmm.
every game's different, aren't they? You never know if you're going to get a chance. But on to obviously, we'll go with Celtic first because, well, what can you say? I mean, let's be honest. I think on paper you go, oh, Celtic, another late goal, jammy, but they did dominate
But
the game.
see, to be honest,
Um,
Celtic for years have always scored late goals.
yeah, but what I would say is
It's not a new thing.
the good point is that they've found a way to win again, like
Aye,
Hearts did.
that's it.
But what I'd say is, and a good point was that they did create chances in the first
The
half.
first half, we should have been about three or
Yeah,
four up with half
because I
time,
think
I would say.
Kavanchara misses a bit of a sitter through on
He
goal,
does. Hmm.
but I have to say it's more evidence that Rio Hatati needs to be nowhere near that team
Oh, definitely.
because
I mean, he nearly
he
sold the
was
jerseys.
he
To be
gave
honest,
away
see
a
the
penalty.
penalty
By
though.
the way,
See the penalty
these
though.
things happen though. He doesn't see the guy,
I know
but it is
that's
a
what I was going to
penalty. But
say. That
it's
I
not. I
don't.
don't think that's a.
Is it a
I don't think
penalty?
that's absolutely because he kicks him.
But I know that he kicks him, but he doesn't
Aye.
see him though. So,
Doesn't matter. If you don't see somebody and you elbow them in the face, it's still a foul.
but
But
he's got his eye. But you think about it. I was watching
doesn't
it.
matter.
I
It's
can see.
still a
I know why.
foul.
I know why it was given, Murray. I'm not
Aye,
arguing the fact that it was given
aye.
as a penalty, but I'm arguing the fact that he's not looking at the guy because he's looking at the
Aye.
ball and he's obviously watching the ball coming down. He's
But
trying to kick it and he doesn't see him
you,
to obviously the last
that's why
minute.
you need to watch. You need to look at your surroundings. You need to
I
look
know.
what's left, what's right. Okay, can I fully try and volley this away?
Let him kick it. I don't know.
I don't know. I just think that for me sums up Rio Hitati right now. That there's a real lack of awareness, a real lack of concentration, and to me, a real lack of desire. Because a player on the top of the game is aware of everything around them. I mean, that boy took the corner, just twaddled in at the back post, and it's a lazy clearance. He's just went,
So,
I'm putting my foot through it because I'm not caring. And that's what I
yep.
looked at that. And by the way, some people said there was a second penalty, but not for me. It's not a
No, the
handball.
one that looks like a hand. No, never a handball in
It
its life. No.
from a distance, see when you're watching it on sports scene, I looked at it and went, "Oh, I'd like to see it up close." And then when you see it up close, he doesn't do
It
anything
does,
wrong.
but it does
His
show
arms by
you
his
it
side.
circled it.
I
It did circle it.
no, I was saying. I was saying when I looked at the first view because the sports scene cameras from the free kick, and I went, "Oh,
Mm.
maybe." And then I seen it up close and I went, "No, absolutely not." His arms by his side. He doesn't do anything wrong. But I think obviously special mention to Oxlade Chamberlain because he finishes his goal really well.
Lovely goal.
But I do think that Celtic, if they keep playing performance-wise like that, they are going to drop points
Well, I know that, and we can't get away
because
with that. I was saying it on
you,
Wednesday when I was at the game to folk running about me,
uh,
Murray. I thought you're not going to get this goal. I just couldn't see it coming, and I was like, if we keep playing we're not going to get away with it. You can't
I,
keep
I,
getting away with it.
I agree. I just think when the standard the teams go up, and even to be honest, I think the standard jumps up even at the weekend because I do
Well, it
think
does, but
Kelly are
we've also
better
got
than
Stuttgart coming up
Livy.
as well.
And then when you look at the league games, when you're not going to get away with that performance against Hibs or Aberdeen or Rangers
Or
or
Stuttgart
Motherwell
in Europe. You're
or
not going to
Stuttgart,
away with it. No.
I don't think you're going to get away against Stuttgart even if you play well because I think German teams are always notoriously difficult. And
Well, we've beat them before, so
but
they'll be
oh,
up for revenge because we beat them the last time.
I like to think that if you haven't played them since 2003, I think a
Well, I
lot of
know.
those players ain't going to be at the club, and
Well, I know
there's going
that,
to be neither.
but the fans will remember it. The
Aye,
fans will
no,
remember it.
fans will be up for revenge, but the players are all. Some of them won't even have been born.
Well, you're
But
right.
no, I think Celtic did deserve the win, but it's another one where you need to go. They must do better
Well,
because
I would,
if they play like that in the last 13 games, they won't win the league.
but with the Ernie
Because
Engels situation, I would start Oxlade Chamberlain at the weekend.
I think you have to, because
I know.
unless there's
But
any
then
option
we
for
still
them,
need to manage him though, because he's not played a lot of football this season.
you'd rather just get an hour out of him, because you can't
Well,
start Hatate. I mean, you could start him
well,
and then bring on McCowan for energy for the last half hour.
mhm.
I think that would be the idea. But if Hatate's in that team, I guarantee that the Kelly players will just get right in his face and try to force mistakes. But I don't think
It's a
there's
worry.
much more to talk
It's a
about the
worry.
game. I think
Yeah.
the penalty was a penalty. The first goal was it's a wee bit lucky, but it wasn't a big deflection. It was a slight deflection. But I think the keeper's just really unsighted, because it does go into the centre of the goal. But he's
Yeah.
got like 12 bodies in front of him. Sometimes you just can't see. But it's a good strike.
What I will mention though as well before obviously we move on is that I thought again, I mean I know why they were doing it, but again I thought the goalkeeper was wasting a lot of time, pulling his jersey up, all the rest of it.
Just,
But see as soon as we equalised, or no we equalised, see as soon as we scored the winner, the goal
aye,
that won the game,
the urgency again.
they were
Aye.
urgent, they were urgent with
Aye.
everything, you know what I mean?
That's that's what happens when you're
I know
desperate
it's
for a
part
win.
of
They
the
haven't
game.
won
I know it's
since
part of the
August,
game, but I don't
and
agree
at
with it.
a point would have felt like a win for them. So
Aye, but
yeah,
it's like
I
I
think
don't mind time wasting, but no, it's like all the way through the game. I don't mind it near the end of the game, but not
I,
at that point in
I
the
don't
game.
like it when like Rangers time waste, right? I don't like it when it's that, or a Celtic time waste. But see, when a
Aye,
team like
but you don't,
Livingston time waste, I
but
get it. I
but
do.
Murray, you don't mind it if it's like with minutes to go. But see when it's like half an hour to
No, no,
go, you're like, what are you
I
doing?
remember. I mean, there was a game last season where, in fact, the Queen's Park game, but we got beat. The moment they scored after about 50 minutes, they were time wasting, and it was just like,
Well, but
Jesus
they're a
Christ, there's
part
still
time.
40
Well,
minutes to. No,
they're
no,
a
but I'm just
part-time
saying
team, but
that's quite similar to the levels, though. If I'm honest, I
well,
don't
I
think
know
they're
that, but
miles off it.
I'd
But
say that Livingston are higher than Queens Park
no, I'm
levels.
just saying I'm on about the right now the way they're playing. They are
Aye.
playing like a championship team
That hence they
because they
will
haven't
be
won
there
since
shortly because
August.
they'll get relegated.
But on to the Motherwell Rangers game, and I think if I'm totally honest, right, Rangers started the game quite well, scored a lovely goal.
Scored early.
I think, to be honest with you, best team goal of the game, of this thing, but I think I have to give it to John Jules for that finish. But I thought Raskin's goal was great in terms of, played out from Butland into
Hmm.
midfield. Diomande
Aye.
does really well. And then Rangers done what Rangers have been doing since Rule came in, really.
Yep.
We try to hold. We try to hold, and if you're a team, right, and this is a mentality
You
thing,
should
right?
be going for another couple of goals,
Yeah,
surely. I
that's
mean,
what you need to do.
aye,
You
you
need to
need to do
go, and
that.
Motherwell hadn't lost a goal at home since October, so
Hmm.
jump on that.
Aye.
Jump on that frailty, and we let them back into the match. And by the way, when we let them back into the match, they were phenomenal and outplayed us
I
from
know
minute, I would
they
say
got the
minute 20 till
aye,
about 60. They
they
dominated.
got the goal late, Murray, right? But I know they got the goal late, but for what I seen of the game, I would say they deserve to win the game. The chances that they had.
Um, on the balance of play, they were the better team. I'm not going to argue that, but I don't think they created enough in terms of clear-cut
Well,
chances. It was,
there was one I remember was cleared pretty much off the line on the underside of the bar, pretty much at one
I
point in
mean,
the game.
there was one at
That
Butland
probably should have
sort
went
of
in.
off the post, but
I know.
honestly, they're a really good
And
team. I mean,
I
I've said
thought they
this
should have had a
before.
penalty as well.
No penalties, and even the Rangers penalty
No.
was never a penalty.
Well, Maswanisi was going. I know wasn't Maswanisi that was foul, but Maswanisi was
No,
going
it
off his
wasn't.
nut
It
at one
wasn't
point.
even close. If it was actually a dive, if I'm honest, he just
No,
jumped into the
no,
floor.
no,
It's not even. It's not a foul. Nadiri doesn't even go near him, and in the same with Chamiti's one that people were shouting for, his legs collapse. There's no
oh,
foul.
well,
There's no.
we'll agree.
There's no foul in any of them. There's not. There
We'll
wasn't
agree
even
to
a.
disagree. You know I'm going to say
If
that
that's a
anyway.
penalty, you're as well giving up, because there wasn't even.
Well, we'll
Nadiri
put it
didn't
this way:
touch him.
I've seen penalties given for less. Come on, you
Well,
have
I've
yourself.
never seen a penalty given when no one touches him, and nobody touched him. He jumped into Nadiri's leg.
Well,
And
there
by
was
the
a
way,
foul in the Celtic
ex-
Livy game where the guy
the exact
didn't
same
get
player
touched
did
and he
that
went
at
down and he got a
Ibrox.
foul for it, and you're thinking, what's going on here?
But
So
that guy, I think it was Slattery, wasn't he? He'd done the exact same thing at Ibrox and dived into
Fata, is it Fata?
Fadiga. But he
Fata.
done the exact same thing at Ibrox, and all he's doing is he's anticipating contact, and if the contact doesn't come, he jumps into the player. People do it. Some
Well,
will say it's
in the
cheap.
past,
Some
in
will
seasons
say
gone by, you have seen penalties given for folk doing that,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
do
but
get it.
it's
Well, but this is without VAR, obviously, before VAR came in.
But I would say that Rangers should be really disappointed. I think up to 75 minutes, Rangers could be okay, right? In terms of they haven't played well, but they were winning. But then when they go down to 10 men, and I don't think anyone's going to argue with the red card, it's a straight boot,
Well,
it's higher than the ankle. You can't argue with that. But after that, Rangers game management was just terrible. They didn't. They looked like a team that had, honestly, they looked like a Livingston, right? They looked like a team that hadn't won in a while and looked like they didn't know how to see it out.
so
And I
what do you
think if you're
think?
going
Do you think the
to
pressure's getting to them then, or
I don't
what's
think it's a
happening?
pressure thing. I think Danny Rule made some. You need to remember, people going on about Danny Rule like he's some sort of god, right?
But
He's
he's
come
never.
into this
What's Danny
team,
Roll?
right?
What's
And
Danny Roll ever won though?
that's what I'm
What's he
saying.
won?
He's an inexperienced manager, and inexperienced managers are going to make mistakes. And I
Mhm.
think he made a mistake in the game where Rangers at a back four were doing okay. Now, Motherwell were the better side, right? But I don't think they were creating clear-cut chances. When we flung the extra centre back in there and took off a midfielder, we lost control of the midfield. And
Mhm.
in saying that, Giga, Suter didn't know who they were meant to mark. Everything just was very confused. And Motherwell fully merited their point in the end. And, I'm not going to argue that they're the better team, but the only thing I'm going to
As
say about it
how
is
ironic was it that Stephen Welsh scores as a goal though? I mean, on loan
it
Celtic
doesn't
player.
matter who scores. It doesn't
I
matter.
know,
Just like if Finlay Curtis scores on Sunday, it makes no difference. He's
I
just a
know. But
footballer
then,
who's
as we
on
as we
loan,
say,
or if
we
Lyle
say this.
Cameron scores against you, it can
We've
happen.
we've we said the other night was Agent Welsh, so you'll be saying Agent
Aye.
Curtis if Agent Curtis scores
Aye.
against
We've got
us.
Curtis and Cameron coming up against you in the next few weeks, so you
Aye.
never know. But I think, honestly, I think it's something that we'll get on to the weekend, but I think it's made Rangers, it's must win at the weekend. Rangers
Oh well,
have to
aye.
win
But then the thing is,
because,
I'd say it's a win-win for Celtic because if Celtic play first against
aye,
Kilmarnock, so if Celtic win, Celtic then go above Rangers, and
yeah.
then if
And even
Rangers
if
win,
Rangers win,
if the
it
Rangers
closes
win,
the gap to two.
but you're still
Aye,
only a point in front. We've got a game in
aye,
hand,
yeah.
and
And
basically
yous would be,
we it's a
yous
win-win
would
for us
be,
because we've closed the
yous
gap on
would
the
be,
2 years.
aye.
Aye,
You'd be into 3 points with a game in hand now.
aye.
So, I mean, I'm not sure that you've got enough to go top with your game in hand, but
What I would
even just
prefer is a
getting.
draw between the 2 years, but if you win,
See, I think you'd be
I
quite.
don't know about
I
that.
just don't. I don't. I think you just don't want Hearts to win because if
No, I
Hearts
don't want
win, you'll
Hearts.
get
No,
such
if
confidence
Hearts win,
from it, and
they
I
stretch it
think
away.
I think they'll pull away if they win, but I don't think they will. But I'll come to that later. But
Hopefully, it's a draw.
I think Rangers. I think that could be a valuable point. I'm just going to say that. See, after the game, I was
You mean
raging, right? Because I
a
was like,
valuable point for Rangers? You saying?
I really do because I think that if I'm being totally honest, and I'm not going to be disparaging to
But would
Hearts
you
or
know rather
Celtic,
have
right?
won it?
Of course, I'd rather win, but I'm just saying that point could be a good point because I think if Hearts play at Motherwell the way they played against Hibs, they would lose. And if Celtic played the way they did against Livingston, against Motherwell, they would lose at Fir Park, right?
Hearts have got to lose
So what I'm
eventually, though.
saying is,
Against
so what
somebody.
I'm saying is, if you lost that game, that could be a point gained. I'm just saying we didn't deserve really a point, but we got one. And I'm just saying, in the heat of the moment, I was like 2 points lost. That's poor game management. But see, at the end of the season, it might look like a good point if
Aye.
Motherwell go and beat Hearts or go and beat
Mhm.
Yous,
I
which they
still,
could do.
I know what you said about the Motherwell Rangers game, but I still think that Motherwell, for the chances that they had, they should have won the game against
They
you.
should have probably, but I think in general though, I think when you're that's twice we've been at Fir Park this year, and we've not been the better side in either game, but we've been 1-0 up with 3 minutes to go in both of them, and we've managed to draw them both. And I think that's a mentality thing, not
Well, to
a
be fair,
ability
the
thing.
first thing you played there was Russell Martin, the manager.
Yeah, yeah. But
There
that
you go.
again, But then that just shows you though, because everyone was raging at him for not bringing on an extra centre back and shutting up shop. And
Hmm.
then Danny Rule does that, and it still goes against you. So
But it still doesn't
sometimes
work.
people, do you know what
And
I
then
mean? It's
uh,
football's football.
I'm not going to argue the fact that it was a red card for the Motherwell boy.
Oh, absolutely.
It
By
was.
the way, I don't think he means it. I think what he
No, he
actually
doesn't
tries
mean
to
it.
do, I think what he tries to do is get in front of Moore to
Mhm.
take the ball. But because Moore turns a wee bit quicker, and it's ever so slightly mistimed. Because if he takes the ball, it's a clean tackle.
Well, of
But
course, I.
because I don't know if maybe it was a slippy pitch as well.
Mm,
There was a lot of rain in Motherwell, and I do
yeah.
think that maybe that ball, because it sort of played it down the line quite well, and I think
Hmm.
it skids off the surface.
Yeah.
And I do think it's just like one of those ones that it's a half a second late, but where he catches him is the bit where you go, aye, you
Yeah.
can't argue.
Aye.
But if we go into the weekend, we've got 6 games, and we're actually going to get Dundee United and Aberdeen games going ahead because they're away from home.
Well,
So,
that's well for once, yeah.
I think the best place to start is obviously Saturday's games. Dundee, Livingston. Now, I think Dundee win this, and I think they win it 2-0.
Yeah, at a canter.
Because I think Livingston it's just not happening for them.
I
And
think
by the way, they
Livingston.
did
I think
work
they're
hard.
finished.
Aye.
And what I will
Uh,
say is, I like Marvin. I like Marvin Bartley.
so they
I
are.
like him. Aye, I
But
do
by the way,
like
he
him.
might
But
do best thing for him in his career though might be to go down and
and then
build
try
a
and get them
team
back up again.
because I thought it's not his team that's went down. He's assistant
No,
manager, and maybe if he
you're right.
builds the team with maybe a combination of good championship players and
Hmm.
maybe a few loan players from SPL teams who need games, you
Aye,
know.
and they won't get rid of him. They won't get rid of him. Obviously, if they go
No,
down,
no, no.
they won't. They'll keep him.
What's your score then for that one?
I would say 2-0 as well to
Yep.
Dundee. I think they'll win.
Falkirk Dundee United. It's a tricky one because as we know, Dundee United are Jekyll and Hyde, but they also
Yep,
haven't played in the last few games,
that's because of
so
the call-offs.
that
Yep, because of the
that might
weather.
go against them. And I think Falkirk have a bit of fluidity about them right now, and they're playing well. They're not losing a lot of goals, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna take Dundee United to score, but I'm gonna go 2-1 to Falkirk.
I,
Honestly, I just think they're better.
I
I think
think
they're a
it'll
better
be.
team.
I think it'll be a draw. It'll either be one each or two each.
I just think their A game is better than Dundee United's A game.
Mm.
And the home advantage just makes me think they'll sneak it.
I'll go one each,
Cool.
which means it'll probably be
Hibs,
two each.
Hibs St Mirren. It's a tricky one because if that was at St Mirren, I'd be backing the buddies to pick up a win. But I think with being at Easter Road, I'm going to go the reverse and I'm going to take Hibs to win 1-0. I
And
don't think there'll be a lot of goals, but
yeah,
I'm going to take the Hibs just because of home advantage, and they'll be raging at losing an Edinburgh derby, and
I
they'll
was going to
maybe
say
get a
that
wee
as well.
reaction.
They'll be wanting a backlash for what happened to them. So I'll take Hibs to win that as well. I think Hibs will win 2-0.
Right, on to Sunday. Motherwell Aberdeen again, same as Dundee United. They've not played a lot. It can go for them against them. I did notice today though they announced that leaving staying till the end of the season, and they've
But
brought Tony
I heard that
Docherty in.
Tony Docherty's back. Yeah,
Aye,
is
as his
Tony Docherty the
assistant.
manager or his assistant?
No,
Right,
he's
right,
assistant to.
right.
Well, to be honest with you, I think it might be more like a co-manager type thing.
Probably better off him staying to the end of the season because that way if
Stability.
you
Aye.
bring exactly and you bring a new manager in, see they're no
And
staff to
also,
Celtic,
and I
bringing a manager
remember
in.
when Rangers announced Gerrard in about March, like what he did was he watched the rest of the season. So he came
Mhm.
in and he had a fair idea about
Well, they
who
could
was
do
good,
that. They
who
could
wasn't.
announce it. They
So they
could
might
announce a
announce
manager.
somebody
Did
in the
they
next
not do
few
that with
weeks.
Jimmy Tilleen? They'd announced Jimmy Tilleen quite early as
I think
well.
so. I think that was right. But
They did.
I'm
They
I'm
did.
gonna go. I'm gonna go with Motherwell to win. See, Motherwell. The thing is, right? They play really good football. I don't think they're a high-scoring team though,
Could be
even
a
for
draw
as
though,
good as
because
they are.
Motherwell are the draw specialists as well.
They are, but I think they're just too good for Aberdeen though. And I watched
Well,
Rangers
currently, I would say
destroy
so.
Aberdeen without really coming out of first gear. And if
Hmm.
you look at the difference, Motherwell are a better team than Rangers in terms
Yeah.
of football. So I'm going to say 3-1 to Motherwell. But it might be like a late third type thing. You know how it might be close for a bit and maybe
Aye.
Aberdeen are chasing an equaliser and get sort of picked off.
I'll say
Because I
2-1
just think
Motherwell.
they've got better players.
I think Motherwell will win. I'll be 2-1. I'll say 2-1. It'll be tighter than the 3-1 that you suggest, but I think
Yep.
it'll be still a win for
Kilmarnock
Motherwell.
Celtic, again, if the Kilmarnock comes out, right, that played against Aberdeen and won 3-0 and beat St Mirren 4-3, they've got a chance. But if the one that played at Ibrox and shoots themselves in the foot with a red card or, real naive, they were quite naive that night,
Mm.
then I think Celtic would win. But Celtic don't have the greatest record at Rugby Park. I know they snuck a
No,
2-1 at the start of the season, but let's be
I
honest,
don't. I don't like the
everyone and
pitch
their
either.
dog, everyone and their dog knows that Celtic got lucky with that penalty that day
But the
because
actual one. Mm.
by the letter of the law, it's just not a penalty. But the referee made a mistake. It happens. That's life. Get over it. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he remembered that the rules had changed. That if it comes off another body part onto the hand, but it happens. But by the way, from what I remember of that game, Kilmarnock were terrible
Aye,
until
they weren't
about
very good.
80, 80 minutes maybe. They
Hmm.
started to play, and then I think they scored after about 85 with a corner. It was a brilliant header, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And then, they look good for 5 minutes, but they can't play for 5 minutes against Celtic and they're not going to get in. You need
Oh,
to play for. I don't think you need to play for 90 minutes against this Celtic team, but I think you need to play well for about 60, 70. So what I would say is it's really dependent on how Kilmarnock go for it. They can't go too much because Celtic have better players. It's as simple as that. But I I just think that there's going to be twists and turns everywhere, and this one seems more likely to be a twist for Celtic than maybe some of the games coming up. I've got to admit, I can't really see you losing home games. If I'm
mm,
honest, I think when you even play better teams like Hibs and that, and even Motherwell when you play them at home, I always fancy to win at Celtic Park. But
yeah.
whenever you go, and I do fancy at Aberdeen as well, but I think Kelly and Rangers are just tricky grounds for you.
Mm.
I'm going to go one each, but it wouldn't surprise me if Celtic found a way to win again. If
Well,
you know what I mean. And
for me,
it's not, and I just think I'm basing it on Celtic's recent form and Kelly's changing form.
mhm.
Because
Well, for
if
me,
the Kilmarnock of 2 months play, Celtic will win 3-0.
oh, well, for me, it's what Celtic turn up. It's what Celtic team turn up. If it's the Celtic that can be ruthless,
I've not seen
we'll
that
hammer
though.
Kilmarnock. But if it's not, then we'll struggle.
But
But
see, if you're honest, when
I'm
when
still
was the
backing
last time
Celtic
you've
to
seen
win.
a ruthless Celtic
Well,
away from
well,
home?
under that,
Away from home, I mean.
well,
Sorry,
well,
on the
maybe in
road. When was
Europe,
the last time? Maybe in Feyenoord.
final, that would probably be it for me.
Yeah,
Although
but I just think
we went behind in that game, but we still come back
I
to win
just
it.
think domestically, I've not like. See, when I look it back, I always look at games and I go, "Oh, Celtic, nah, it's an easy one, easy one. They'll win that comfortably." And see, this season, I can't think of an away performance where maybe Aberdeen at the start of the season. I think Hattati
Hmm.
scored a
Aye,
sort of
aye,
barn
and
in sort of
Nigrin
number.
scored as well.
Yeah.
Nigrin as well.
See, apart from that, can you think of a game away from home where Celtic have been comfortable?
Not really, no.
Uh, Maybe Livingston at the end. I know it was 4-2, but there was
Oh,
moments
come
in
on,
that
that
game
was
where
the
you went, "What the
comfortable.
hell?"
God.
No, I know at the end of the game it was more comfortable. But
Aye,
it
well,
wasn't actually because Livy actually played quite well in the second half,
I would
if I
say
remember
so.
rightly.
I don't
Uh,
think any game under Wilfred Nancy was
no.
comfortable.
And I don't know. I think, and by the way, I don't say this just because obviously I like Neil McCann, he was next, but I think he'll have his team right up for it in the
Mm,
same way as if Neil Lennon was managing Dunfermline in the SPL, he'd have his team right up for a game against Rangers.
aye.
That's just what it is. I don't know. I think it'll either be 2-1 Celtic or one each, but I'm going to go on the side of Kelly might just get the wee bit of luck that they'll
I,
need to get a draw.
I think Celtic will win. It'll either be 2-1 or it could be 4-1, depending on what Celtic turn up, if it's a ruthless one or not.
Uh,
But
I don't
I
know.
still think Celtic will win.
I'd
I
be
think we'll win.
massively surprised if Celtic scored four
Yeah, we'll
away from
see.
home. Hmm.
Well, I know, but
Uh,
we'll see.
Rangers Hearts. I'm going to go with a really low scoring 1-0 Rangers, and I'm
You said
just
it
going
would be
with
1
this
0 to Rangers against Motherwell, and you mucked that up because
almost.
it was one each.
Yeah, but let's be honest. I was 2 minutes away from it being spot on.
I know, you're
And
right.
and the game went the way I thought it would. That
Hmm.
Motherwell would have the ball, be the better side, and
Hmm.
Rangers would maybe be clinical, and they were
Oh,
clinical with their
well,
early chance. For me, this is all about how Rangers start the game because obviously they've got the home crowd, and if Rangers start well and start on the front foot, I think Rangers will win. But if it's 0-0 at half time and the fans start turning and going, "Oh, we've bottled it again," and the bottle merchants, and
mhm.
that, I think if Rangers don't score early, I think it could go badly. But I do
Well,
think we'll score
you might
early.
be right.
I don't
Could
think
be.
we're good enough to like make it 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't
Hmm.
think we're there yet.
Yeah.
But I do think that Hearts just lack. What I would say is the difference between Hearts and Motherwell is that
Hmm.
Motherwell can play with a bit of composure. I don't
Yeah.
think Hearts can. I think Hearts are pump it forward, try and win the second ball, harry you. And I think that kind of plays into Rangers what our abilities are right now, and I think
Yeah.
we're very similar to Hearts. If you look at both their teams, there's not a lot between them. They're both
There
a bit
isn't.
pish,
Yeah.
but but I think Rangers have.
They have pish tendencies.
But I think Rangers have more quality when you take Shankland and that out of the team. I think Rangers just
Yeah.
have more, and I'm going to go 1-0. But and I don't think that'd be the worst result even for Celtic because I think they'd be chuffed with that
Well,
as long as they
I
win their game.
as far as I'm concerned, if Celtic win, then it's a bit of a double-edged sword. I mean, do you want
I was a
Rangers to
bit
win?
like
Do you
that
want it a draw?
when you played them. I was like, as long as we beat Dundee, I don't care what happens.
my result,
that was Piava's.
my preferred result would be a draw. But
Yep.
if Rangers won, and as long as Celtic we win,
Aye.
it wouldn't be
I
a
just
bad
fancy
bad day.
Rangers in this one, and I think it's about time somebody beat Hearts out of Rangers and
No,
Celtic.
I would say
And I
that as
think,
well.
and I just think Rangers are going to be right up for it.
It's
But
Ibrox as well, so
yeah, and I think Rangers, to be fair, have looked quite good at Ibrox actually under Danny Rowe.
and
I
as I said,
don't
a win for Rangers. I don't want Rangers winning, but a win for Rangers wouldn't be a bad result for
know
Celtic. Because
because I've got to
As long as
admit,
Celtic win,
aye,
then
exactly.
we're,
We shall see
basically
what it
we are
means.
basically up
Aye,
there with Rangers and Hearts now, but it's a close
exactly,
knit
and
thing.
I think it'll be a poor. I think Rangers were the losers in midweek, and I think Hearts will be the losers in the weekend because I think they'll get no points.
Hmm?
And I think, but by the way, Hearts do have a nice run up to the split, but then after the split, it's terrible
But
for
then the
them
thing is,
because
Hearts, you've got to take into account Hearts also
they need
don't
to play
need to win
Motherwell
the game.
twice.
Don't
No, no,
Hearts and Sunday don't need to win
that
the
can be
game.
a bad
They could
thing,
take a draw. They could take a draw.
but that can be a bad thing though if they come out
Could,
and play
it
for a
could
draw.
be. It could be. You're
Yeah,
right. It could be. But
because I've watched. I mean, let's be honest, that's what Rangers tried to play for the result that they had, and that can also go against you too.
you're
But
right.
I don't know.
Yep.
I think if it wasn't at Ibrox, I wouldn't be confident.
Right.
But it is at Ibrox, so I'm
Ah,
confident
well.
that we have better players than
Mhm.
Hearts for that game.
Ah,
But it's must win for Rangers. It really is.
yeah, I
Well,
would
it
say
certainly
so.
must not lose.
It's not a
No,
must win for Hearts, but it's a must win for
no.
Rangers.
I do think you could still win the league if it was a draw, but I don't think Rangers can win the league if they lose.
I still think Hearts can afford a draw, if I'm honest.
And I still think Rangers can as well, but it would
But if
make
you
it
draw and we win, we go above you.
no, I
We've got
know,
the game in hand, remember, against Aberdeen.
but
So
Rangers will always look at they've still got Celtic to play twice, and you can beat them twice as long as it's in your hands. That
I
type of
know,
thing.
I know.
Then once it starts to go out your hands, that's where it's a problem. But
Aye.
if we leave it there, we'll come back
Well,
on Monday.
might
Are
not be
we
able
going
to
to
be
try
Monday. Might not be able to be
right?
Monday because we possibly could be going on an overnight stay
All right, cool.
to Edinburgh because for
Oh,
Giovanni's birthday.
all
But
right, cool.
it would need to be the Tuesday if we're going to do
That's
it.
fine.
Just
There's the midweek games are just really the Celtic European one on Thursday. So anytime
aye,
Tuesday or Wednesday. In
aye.
fact, if you want to maybe
As if we go away, depending on the weather, obviously with the snow and stuff
yep,
predicted. So we'll see what happens.
just let me know and we can go on and we can do.
Aye.
We can even just do the one pod next week if you want to predict next weekend as well.
Right. Aye,
That's fine.
we'll see.
Aye.
Aye.
Cool.
Because
Because there's
obviously
only Celtic's midweek. That's all in the game. It's no like
and,
there's multiple
and
games.
we're meeting up on the Friday for lunch as well, aren't we? So
Yep.
aye, so
Cool.
yep.
So yep, we'll leave it there.
Right.
Cool.
Right,
I
thanks
think we've
again,
still
mate.
got 5 minutes, but cool.
I
Right, see you
have,
later.
but
Right.
yeah. Cheers, later, mate.
Cool.
Right, cheers,
Right,
thanks a lot.
bye.
Bye bye.